Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today I'm going to take a sutta which is a kind of very short sutta. So it will be a short discourse today. And it is based on a parita. Parita are called protection chants. So this parita has a kind of a relationship with my monk life when I was there in Thailand. So I had an experience, and that experience kind of reinforced the importance of paritas to me. Initially, I was very skeptical about the chants and protection chants, and I was not sure if this was given by the Buddha himself. One day, what happened is that somebody, one of our fellow monks, was dreaming about snakes, and he came and just told us about that in the hall. We were there in a very small place in Thailand. It is called Pujamgom, I think so. I am not pronouncing it correctly, but that is difficult for me for pronouncing those words because they have a lot of intonations. So Pujamgom was one small branch monastery of Vatmananachar. So over there, the monk just was sharing with us that he saw snakes in his dreams. And we had not seen any snakes in that place. It was actually bordering a forest reserve, this monastery. But we had not seen any snakes till that time. And what happened was the day after he mentioned that he had seen snakes in his dreams, we started seeing snakes around the monastery. And it was like a little bit surprising that this has happened. But then once I was getting down the stairs, and I saw that at the bottom of the stairs, the snake was there. And it was kind of coiled, and it was just sleeping. It was not doing anything, just it was coiled up and sleeping. So I just went up the stairs, and there was one other way of going down. So I told the abbot of that monastery. I think it was Ajahn Sukito. Then he told us about that you should kind of read this Parita chant. So I'll just read the Parita chant just for reference. It is called Khanda Parita. Viru pake hi me metang yara pathe hi me chabhya putte hi me metang kanha gotame ke cha apadike hi me metang dipadake hi me chatupade hi me metang bahupade hi me mamang apadako hingsi mamang hingsi dipadako mamang hingsi chatupado mamang hingsi bahupado Sabbe satta, sabbe pana, sabbe bhuta cha kevala, sabbe bhadrani paschantu, ma kinchi pamagama. Appamano buddho, appamano dhammo, appamano sangho, pamana mantani sirisapani, ahivichika sattapadi, unha nabhi, sarabhu musika, katame rakha, katame paritta, patikanhatu, bhutani, soham namo bhagavato, namo sattanang, samma sambuddhanang. So this was the parita which you were asked to read. And this was supposed to be a protection from the snakes. And what happened is we all kind of read this parita, and from the next day onwards, we never saw any other snakes in that monastery. So it was a kind of an experience which was a really strange experience for me, because I had come from a background of being kind of objective and rational, and I used to follow Ayn Rand. So I was from a kind of a background where I had kind of internalized the kind of concepts that there are nothing which we can do which can affect the outside world, you know. So there are the concept of metta was also not very clear at that time with me. So I'll just read the sutta, and after many kind of years, I was reading Anguttara Nikaya and find out that this is a part of the sutta. So this is just a half of the sutta which is there as a chanting, but this was a sutta, and I kind of found out that this was actually a teaching given by the Buddha. So that is the thing which I'm going to share with you now. And I will also share a document which will be the sutta. Okay, 1 second. How do I document? Document, okay. Okay, so this is the sutta we'll be reading. So this can be used for reference by you. So this sutta is from Anguttara Nikaya, book of 4, and the sutta number is 67. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jetha's grove, Anathapindika's park. Now, on that occasion, in Savatthi, in a certain bhikkhu, or I'll use the word student over here, a certain student had been bitten by a snake and had died. Then a number of students approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side and said, Bhante, a certain student here in Savatthi was bitten by a snake and has died. So the Buddha was informed by the other students that there was one monk who was there and he had been bitten by the snake and he passed away. So in my kind of 1.5 years of staying in a forest monastery, I had experienced that there was nobody who had kind of actually died from a snake bite. And there were a couple of them who had snake bites, but they were not venomous. So this is something which is possible when you are living in a forest to encounter a snake. The Blessed One said, surely, students, that student did not pervade the 4 royal families of snakes with a mind of loving kindness. For if he had done so, he would not have been bitten by a snake and died. What are the 4? Virupaka, royal family of snakes. Erapatha, royal family of snakes. Chabbyaputta, royal family of snakes. And the black Gotamaka, royal family of snakes. Surely that student did not pervade these 4 royal families of snakes with a mind of loving kindness. For if he had done so, he would not have been bitten by a snake and died. I enjoin you, students, to pervade these 4 royal families of snakes with a mind of loving kindness for your own safety, for your own security, safety, and protection. So this is the start of the kind of advice of Paritta. So the Buddha is saying that for the protection of yours, you have to pervade loving kindness to all those 4 family of snakes. But he goes a little further also. So this is the chanting which we do. I have loving kindness for the Virupaka snakes. For the Erapatha snakes, I have loving kindness. I have loving kindness for Chabbyaputta snakes. For the black Kotamaka, I have loving kindness. So you do this chanting, or you do this spreading of metta to these 4 the kings of snakes, or the 4 kinds of snake which are there. I have loving kindness for footless creatures. Who are the footless creatures? The footless creatures are the snakes. I have, for those who have 2 feet, I have loving kindness. So any animal which are there, like human beings are there. So for the 2 feet, all the human beings, I have loving kindness. I have loving kindness for those with 4 feet. So all the animals which have 4 feet, who may be kind of, they may be tigers or lions or elephants or any of those category of beings, I will have loving kindness for them. For those with many feet, I will have loving kindness. So there are many of the animals we have many feet, like scorpions are there, then there are centipedes are there, then there are other animals and there are other kind of lizards which have more than 4 legs. So we are sending basically our loving kindness to all kinds of beings. May footless beings not harm me. So we are giving a kind of a giving signaling to the universe that we should not be harmed by the footless being. May no harm come from me from those with 2 feet. May 4-footed beings not harm me. May no harm come to me from those with many feet. So when we are giving a kind of a wish to the universe that no being should harm us. May all beings, all living things, all creatures, everyone meet with good fortune. So then we wish well for everybody. That is the foundation of Metta. So to wish well for everybody. May all beings, all living things. That means that any thing which is living, all creatures, everyone meet with good fortune. So we wish good fortune for everybody. May nothing bad come to anyone. So as we don't expect bad things to happen to us, we are wishing that no bad thing should happen to others. The Buddha is measureless. The Dhamma is measureless. The Sangha is measureless. Creeping things, snakes, scorpions, centipedes, spiders, lizards, and rats are finite. I have made a safeguard. I have made protection. Let the creatures retreat. I pay homage to the Blessed One, homage to the 7 perfectly enlightened ones. So the monks or the students were asked to send loving kindness, wish well, wish for your own protection and wish for the protection of all beings. And remember the limitless nature of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and the limited nature of all creatures. And by that power, asking all creatures to give you protection and not harm you. So this is a small sutta, but it has a kind of a importance in my kind of experience or life, because this has helped me understand the concept of Metta, and has been a practical experience which I had with this aspect of the Buddha's teaching, which is of Paritta. The Paritta chanting has become many places in Thailand and in Burma and in Sri Lanka, has become kind of a formal practice, and they do it very mindlessly, you know. But they had practical experiences, and they had all meaning was there. The Ratna Sutta, which is very famous sutta, has also very kind of deep meaning. It is also kind of foundationed in the practice of Metta. So the practice of Metta which we are doing has a fundamentally universal appeal, and fundamentally it has a practical appeal of protecting ourselves and wishing good and well for others. So this is a very kind of a interesting aspect for me as a kind of a starting off monk at the time in Thailand. So that time I had these experiences, and further I have read about other suttas also, like the Metta Sutta itself. The commentaries of that sutta is that once there was a group of monks who went in the foothills of the Himalayas to practice after taking instructions from the Buddha. So when they went over there, the local devs or the local beings were there. Those beings were not happy because they thought that the monks will create noise, and monks will kind of disturb their peace. And when monks are there, then the people will come, and there will be a lot of noise, and there will be a lot of activity over here. So the peace will be broken. So they started harassing the monks. When they started harassing the monks realized that this is something which is happening from super beings, or the beings who are they cannot see. So they went back to the Buddha and said that this has happened. So the Buddha said that to go back, and now he gave the teaching of the Metta, and then he said that now you do the meditation of Metta meditation over there. So the monks went there, and they started doing and spreading Metta. So they started spreading metta in the 6 directions. And when they started doing that, the devs or the beings over there, they realized that they wish no harm to us. They just wish good for us. And then they came and appeared before them in visible form. And they said that to the monks that, see, you are coming here for a good cause. Now we understand. So now we will allow you to stay and we will protect you. So you can stay as long as you are wanting to stay. So they continued their practice and all of them become arahants. So this is a very good teaching that the beings which are there do kind of get affected, or they can feel the metta which we are sending. And this is also a protection for us and for protection for all beings also, because they also have this experience. One other sutta, the Buddha mentions that there are worlds systems, but there is a gap in the world system there where there is no light. So if you can consider in this current cosmology, so there are places where the sun's light will go, and then there will be a space between the other star and our sun, where there will be no light which is coming. So the Buddha says that those places also, there are beings which remain. And when there are beings over there, and those beings don't know that they are with other beings, because it is so dark, they think that they are all alone in that space. When somebody sends them metta and it reaches them, that beings will have a moment of light. And when they will have a moment of light, they will see that there are other beings also over here. So they can feel and they can benefit from the metta which we are sending. So that is the reason we have no limits to the metta which is sent. In previous, in India, there were kind of practices of metta, but they used to restrict deliberately. They used to say that you send a metta to 10 feet. Then you now imagine 100 feet. Now imagine 1,000 feet. Now imagine a kilometer or equivalent of that. So they used to imagine a restricted area. So that is the reason when we are giving instructions in retreats, we say that without limitations, you have to send. So let it go where it goes. So certain times when your practice is strong, so then there is boundless, limitless. The metta will flow and it will go to directions and places where your imagination also will not be allowing it to go. So if you had to imagine, you would not be able to imagine those places. So letting it be boundless, letting it be going to universe is the teaching of the metta. And over here, it is used as a kind of protection for ourselves and protection for all beings. So this is the short sutta teaching. If there are any questions, we'll take questions now. It can be of any, the questions can be of any of the related to the sutta, related to meditation. So there are no questions? Yes.
Hello, Bante.
Hello. Yeah.
Really, I was also thinking in a similar way, Bante.
Yeah.
Like normally this chanting, normally people will directly chant, most of the people, without understanding the what is the meaning of it.
Correct.
Like as we are progressing on the path, we could able to understand that we need to understand the right meaning of the
correct
chanting before we are chanting actually.
Correct.
Like we are from traditional Hindu religion. Like in childhood, we used to chant many stotrams actually, but we don't know the meaning earlier in childhood.
Correct.
Like what you said was exactly correct. Like we need to understand the meaning of these chantings. Correct. It is important.
Like Gayatri mantra also, many people chant, but they kind of actually don't know the meaning. It is very similar to the metta, you know. if you go into the meaning of it.
Oh. I did not see the meaning. I will see today, Monday.
Yeah, it is very kind of similar to the concept of metta. There is one kind of phrase over here. That phrase is also there in this. That is, I'll just read. Sabbe bhuta chakevala, sabbe bhadrani paschantu, ma kinchi pamagama. So there is very similar line in that also in that chanting. So so this I was kind of really sabbe bhadrani paschantu means everybody should be safe or should be good or should benefit. So that line is there. So those things which are there, which we kind of don't kind of pay attention to because it is a tradition, you know, something it is passed on. But when we are chanting with meaning, then there is a emotion involved. There is a kind of a direction of intention. So that is a very good point which you have mentioned.
Yes, Bante. And one more thing, just I was like while I was listening, I could able to notice the changes. Like what you said was in other tradition, radiation of metta is like limited to some distances. But in our tradition, there is limitless. We do not specify any distance.
Correct.
The other day when I was listening in YouTube, like Mahabodhi Society, they were telling like first city, then the next one city, then another city, like they are coming on.
Correct. So Buddha has actually mentioned this very explicitly, that this tradition say this limit of this thing, but I don't say any limits. And one other thing of metta is that it was already there before the Buddha's time. So once Buddha mentions, when he is not even a Bodhisattva, before he was a Bodhisattva, he was a teacher. And he was teaching his students meditation. But then many of the students would pass away and be reborn in many good destinations. Even Brahmalokas, they would be reborn. So Buddha said that my students are being reborn in many good destinations, even in Brahmaloka. So I should also do a practice which I should go into a good destination. So for 7 years, he did the metta meditation. So when he did the metta meditation for 7 years, he went multiple lifetimes, he went into good destinations. So that merit was so much. So the Buddha says that this just the merit of the meditation of metta has a lot of merit. But the Buddha is using this as an object of meditation. So there is one other layer to it. He adds the layer which he adds is to understand the reality of the situation. That is the impersonal nature, the impermanence, the dukkha. So all those things also we are learning. We are learning about the kind of dependent origination. So how something arises, how it stays, how it passes away. So how it comes and what happens before this, what happens before this. So we are kind of giving, the Buddha has enhanced this metta meditation, not just for getting protection of ourselves and wishing well for others, but by using this meditation, we are also enhancing and going in the path of the Dhamma. We are going in the path of the Nibbana. So it is an additional thing which the Buddha has kind of enhanced this traditional meditation, which was there for ages in the past. So this is a kind of continuing practice. So if you continue, there will be more and more progress.
Like while you are saying words, like I could able to recall one question. Like while we practice the metta, like there will be a cessation of unwholesome things. Is it correct, Bante?
Yes, there is a cessation of unwholesome things because you are having a arising thought, say. Then you recognize, you kind of release, relax, re-smile, return, and come back to metta. So there's this cessation of unwholesome things, and then then this continues the attention on metta. So there is no opportunity for the unwholesome to come also. So there are benefits which are both. So,
like right effort.
Yes, right effort.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Is there any other questions? So today it was a small kind of sutta, and we will kind of upload this on YouTube also tomorrow. And if there are any other questions, you can ask, or we can end it over here with the. Okay, Kantal, you have any question?
Yes, Bhante, I have a
Yes.
question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Bhante, what you just said about dependent origination, what I'm finding in the meditation is that while I'm doing the 6 hours, especially during walking meditation, I'm doing the 6 hours. But the very clear cause and effect doesn't always, why is something arising? Why did a distracting thought come? So it's not always clear. All the links of dependent origination are not clear.
Yes.
So
you can ask now.
Yeah, no, so I'm assuming that maybe that's okay, right? Over time, something may become clearer and clearer.
Yes. As we say, the Satta Bhujanga, which is there, 7 factors of awakening. This kind of develops as you practice. So when you are putting attention on something, okay, like the feeling of metta, or the walking meditation also, you are just sending metta. So then you have that mindfulness is there. So that mindfulness kind of leads to investigation. Investigation means there was not, I was there on the metta and now I am on the unwholesome thought. So that is an investigation of how it is happening. So you may not recognize everything over here, but you may recognize that there is something which happened. I was here and I am now here. So now that leads to your handling of the energy. So how you think that you are doing too much, then that means that you are putting too much energy, then there is a busy mind is there. Then if you go to the next step of, say, you are kind of getting very dull, that means that you are putting too less energy. Your interest level is too less. So that is the handling of energy. Then you have the joy. Joy is the balancing factor. So you have the joy arise and you know how to use joy, like smiling. You smile more, you smile always. So that is the thing that leads to tranquility. Tranquility is the comfortableness in the body. That leads to the samadhi. Samadhi means being collected on the object, means to be able to be on the object. That leads to equanimity. That is the balance of mind. So these things which you are doing is automatically developing your kind of factors of awakening. So as you kind of do this cycle refines, and then slowly you will be able to look. It depends on the time. So that's the reason Bhante Vimalramji used to say that patience leads to Nibbana. This is the same thing his teacher used to say to Bhante, because Bhante used to ask a lot of questions and was very curious. So he used to say that patience leads to Nibbana. You be patient and persist with the practice, and then it will lead to kind of results. So everybody has a kind of a habitual tendency. There's a bag of habitual tendency. It may grow and kind of reduce based on how much is your karmic kind of attachment. So certain people have very good progress, and certain people have some time, but everybody has progress. The Buddha says that everybody will have progress, even if those progress is not possible in this lifetime. So the one example I will give you, there was a king who came, Ajatasattu, I think so. I'm not sure about the name, but a king came to the Buddha, and the Buddha gave him the teaching. After the Buddha gave him the teaching and he went away, the monks asked him that this king seemed to have learned and seemed to have appreciated your teaching, but he did not progress. He did not become a Sotapanna. So why is that? So the Buddha says that this king has kind of been responsible for his killing of his parents. So Devadatta, the cousin of Buddha, had influenced that king, and it led to the killing of his parents by him. And the Buddha said that now he has to have the next lifetime in the hell realm. So he will go to this certain hell realm and say certain time, and he will be reborn. But when he will be reborn, the Buddha Sasana would not be there. And at that point of time, he will practice on his own and become a Pacheka Buddha. So even if there are some karmic kind of this thing, there are basically you can be say 4 or 5 reasons why you cannot progress. One reason is killing of the parent, or killing of the father, killing of the mother, killing of an arahant, okay, causing a split in the sangha of monks, and the why is injuring the Buddha. So if any of this a person has done, then the next lifetime has to be there in the hell realm. So it is not possible for them to progress. Like Anathapindika, so not Angulimala. Angulimala had killed 999 people, but still he progressed to become an arahant. So, but even if you are not able to kind of progress in this lifetime, but if you understand and have this bent of mind, then even in the next lifetime it will help. So the no practice is without results. So whatever practice you do, that result is definitely guaranteed.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, may I ask you, may I continue for
Yes.
earlier question?
Yes.
He is able to speak about the dependent origination because of the one of the factors of the Saptabhujanga. If it is that is influencing him to know about this dependent origination or other things. The clarity requires all the 7 factors or most of the factors are balanced, and he gets the clear mind, cultivated mind. Then only he can see each and every aspect of the dependent origination. Till such time, he should have the patience.
Correct. So it will develop in time, the balance will develop.
And that depends on the so many factors he mentioned, Bhante mentioned, about our tendencies and earlier lives and other things, so many karmic also formations and other things.
Correct.
They are all the factors, but slowly it will come. It may be this life or the next life or anything, we don't know. But you are able to speak the dependent origination just because of the one of the factors. If you are having strong mindfulness, definitely you will go up to Sotapanna level also. That is why you are able to speak dependent origination. But clarity in dependent origination comes over a period of time when you cultivated the mind to the extent possible to know everything. Sorry, next. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if there are any other questions you can ask, or then we can share the merits. Okay, then we'll share the merits. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, Devas and Nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu.